the My Hero Academia fans have no chill. The anime just reached god-tier levels of storytelling, and they are complaining about the animation. And it doesn't even look bad, it's actually incredible. So yeah, let's talk about it. Hello everyone and welcome to my first ever My Hero Academia video. Who knew I would ever make one? But hey, if something deserves credit, I'm here to give it. And this new season certainly deserves a lot of credit. So, surprise! This is not a video bashing the fandom. This is an appreciation video for the current season of the show. Yes, you will sit and listen to me say nice things about the show you love. Deal with that. To anyone who is new here, you should know I mainly talk about Attack on Titan on my channel, and no, I was never a huge fan of My Hero Academia. In fact, like many other anime watchers, I was a little bit underwhelmed by the previous season, and yes, I know it had some crucial moments to the story, but overall, I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the previous seasons. But this season, oh, this season, it's different, to say the least. Not only with the incredible fight scenes, but also with the pacing and the level of storytelling. Something about this season just feels better, more mature, and to the point. And one of my favorite developments in this entire story, it finally featured a very angry and slightly unhinged Deku. And that is so incredible to me because, and I'm sorry in advance, I never was a big fan of his character. He was so overly nice all the time, and I only saw him develop in terms of his powers and abilities. The same issue I have with Tanjiro, but to be fair, Demon Slayer had only 2 seasons while Deku is the same way for around 5 seasons. But yeah, that is about to change I guess because I have never seen him so angry before, and sure, I justify that furious behavior. After all, Shigaraki turned out to be quite troublesome, to put it mildly, and I'm guessing he's going to make him more angry by the time this fight is done. So for me, it was the first sign of a possible Deku character development, and maybe in a way that is completely opposite to the way he was up until now. If that is true, then maybe his extremely long role of being overly nice was meant to be so tedious, to maybe make it more surprising when his character shifts in another and maybe a slightly less moral direction. Deku is by far my most expected character development for now, but also Bakugo is showing some bright signs. And again, sorry in advance, Bakugo was also never a favorite of mine. I saw him as a very abusive friend who is not really a friend. And let's face it, Bakugo was a bully in his childhood, and not a lot of people address this issue. But in previous episodes we got to see a little bit into the way he thinks, and that was only because All Might was able to ask the right questions. Deep inside, he felt bad about how he treated Deku since he was young. A boy who never did anything wrong to him. He witnessed that boy grow stronger before his eyes, and in time he learned that his idol chose Deku as the carrier of his quirk. And with all that, and even being as stubborn and proud as we know him to be, Bakugo helped Deku in order to make up for how badly he treated him in the past. And again, we know it only through All Might's questions and how much he really understands this kid and his frustration. And of course, the best moment going back to Deku's famous moments from season 1. Back then his legs just moved on their own, and even though he knew it was hopeless, he just acted automatically to save Bakugo. And in this episode, Bakugo had the same moment and experience when he jumped in front of him and saved him from Shigaraki. I mean, that was such a perfect moment, I was sincerely overwhelmed. Everything was breathtaking to me. The pacing was perfect, and I was so impressed by it, so I immediately turned to Twitter to see how the fans of the show reacted. And all I saw are posts of people complaining about the animation, and that was insane to me. Putting aside the fact that the panels looked very well adapted, and trust me, I have seen disasters, and that is not even on the same level. The animation was great, and I was just amazed on how nitpicky My Hero Academia fans can get. And sure, I know it's not all of you, so I am addressing only the ones that ignored all the good things about it and chose to be salty about a few frames. Seriously, just chill and enjoy the show. Just be grateful your favorite manga is getting regular updates and great treatment from the studio and animators. Some other fandoms are not that lucky, like for example the Promised Neverland fandom, which got a huge hot garbage of an ending. Seriously, did you see it? I never even read the manga, and even I could realize I'm watching something unholy on screen. It was a bunch of still images that made no sense at all. So seriously, My Hero Academia fans, Be grateful. Say thank you to the animators who are bringing to life your favorite characters animated and not in the form of still images. And don't get me wrong, this is not some criticism about the Promised Neverland animators, because they did an awesome job. Like always, the decision to make that ending was in the studio's hands, so basically the animators had nothing to do with that trash of an ending. Also, in the case of Attack on Titan, things haven't been as good as they were for My Hero Academia. After 3 seasons, Attack on Titan had a switch of animation studios, which, back then, caused the fandom quite the anxiety. And yes, MAPPA pulled through and gave the utmost respect to the show, but for us fans, those were some anxious times, waiting to see how much our show will change. All of that is not something familiar to the My Hero Academia fandom. You had a steady release of the anime, not waiting too long between seasons, which is incredible in anime terms. Look at One Punch Man. Every season takes forever to get out. I will probably die of old age before the 4th season drops. And also in Attack on Titan, when we had a 5 years break between the first season and the second one. The amount of dedication is incredible for people to not lose interest for such a long time. And believe me, some did. And again, the MHA fandom has never experienced that either, and that is because your favorite anime is getting the VIP treatment. The least you can do is appreciate it and say thank you you're not the Promised Neverland fans, because those people have truly suffered. They have something to complain about. You don't. Your anime is currently killing it, and it has one of the best fight scenes of this year, with only Chainsaw Man standing in its way for now. So cherish it, and be proud it's doing such a great job. Hell, it's doing such a good job, it made me finally do a video about it. So if I can appreciate it, I believe the fans of the show should be able to do the same. And I hope your show will keep on killing it and gets better and better. As a huge Attack on Titan fan, I want my favorite show to be judged beside the best, and My Hero Academia is certainly going that way. This is all for my little rant video, and I hope you enjoyed. What do you think about the latest seasons of My Hero Academia? Do you also think it's awesome? And what do you think about the animation? Do you think it's bad? Because I honestly can't see that at all. I was actually very impressed by it, but you decide. Let me know if I should do more My Hero Academia videos on my channel, and also subscribe and drop me a like. I will see you all real soon in my next video, and even sooner in the comments, but until then, let me just remind you all to dedicate your hearts to humanity, inside and outside the walls.